Hey everybody. So I wanted to record a discussion that I'm having with ChatGPT on my computer. So I'm just pulling that up for you now. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to read it together. So one moment. As soon as I can find it again. Here it is. Share. Here we go. Put my phone on do not disturb. Leave me alone. Thank you. All right. So here is the conversation that I'm having with ChatGPT at the very moment. And it is basically about how you don't need belief when you know how something works. So I just want to go over that with you all today and dive into it in hopes that it will give you the courage as well as the calm conviction to work the system despite anything else. Okay? Because again, your attention is the funding to all of your thinking, your assumptions, your emotions, whatever you think your emotions is for yourself, because you do so with your attention and you've done so repetitively, it makes it valid for yourself. But I'm telling you that you don't necessarily need belief or too much thinking behind anything outside of the actual work that it takes itself to render you a result. If your attention is everywhere but where it needs to be, then you're not going to really see this for yourself. But let me get into it and hopefully it'll make more sense as I read along. So, the core truth: you do not need belief. Belief is a shadow, knowledge of the laws of creation, spiritual, mental, and vibrational, removes the need for belief because knowing operates beyond doubt. Creation is finished, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. Genesis 1, verse 31. Creation is not something you force or beg for. It is not dependent on whether you can believe hard enough. Okay? This is not about, oh, if only I can just believe harder, then I'll get what I want. No. The person who is already experiencing the obtainment of your desire is not consciously thinking on how can they believe in this moment, the moment more in order to receive what they have right now more. Like that doesn't make sense. You see how there's a contradicting in that? So who are you tuning into? Are you tuning into somebody who believes that they have to believe harder in order to receive something? Because if your attention is there, then you are the identity that requires that. Or are you the identity that is simply thinking this way because they received what they wanted? And that's it. Nothing else but that. So again, it is not dependent on whether you can believe hard enough. In biblical metaphysics, everything already exists in the unseen realm. Hebrews 11, verse 1. To imagine is to select, not to create from nothing. The mystics and the alchemists understood this. All that you imagine already is, waiting for you to recognize it. So all that you imagine already is waiting for you to recognize it. Science aligns with the truth, with this truth. Quantum physics shows us that all possibilities exist as wave potentials, and observation collapses them into form. Belief isn't the mechanism, focused awareness is. Belief is a byproduct. Belief is nothing more than attention repeated until it stabilizes as truth in this subconscious. Attention plus familiarity equals conviction. Conviction is not belief, it is knowing. You don't believe in gravity, yet you know how it works because you've seen it proven. Likewise, when you understand the law of consciousness, awareness shaping reality, belief becomes unnecessary because, again, you know how the system works. Faith is not belief without proof, but trust without reservation. D. Elton Trueblood. Faith in this sense is alignment, not effort. The power of attention and identity. Fake it till you make it is a misunderstanding. You are never faking anything. Consciousness creates reality. That's it. When you dwell in the state of what you desire, it is not pretense, it is selection. As Neville Goddard taught, to assume a state is to be it the moment that you are assuming it. Not later, not in the future, but in the now that you've chosen to assume it. So, if you are currently right now, as you're watching me, thinking of thoughts like the version of you who has what you want would normally think, then in this moment, as you are watching me and thinking those thoughts, you are being that being who has your desire. And with your attention, as you do so repetitively over and over again, you are funding that being with the currency of your mind, your awareness, your consciousness, your attention. And you are occupying that state of being with your consciousness. You are occupying the state of being that naturally comes with the byproduct of occupying that consciousness or that awareness. And I know I'm saying a lot of things, but you get the basis or the gist of what I'm trying to tell you. Again, to assume a state is to be it, nothing else is required. Your attention is alchemy. It transforms unseen potentials into tangible reality. Like tuning a radio frequency, you don't hope the station comes through. You simply tune to the correct signal. Rhythm creates reality. Manifestation is rhythmic. Repetition is not about forcing belief, but creating neural and energetic pathways until the identity you choose becomes normal. Repetition equals rhythm. Rhythm equals familiarity. Familiarity equals acceptance. Acceptance equals embodiment. Conviction is just rhythm without interruption. Science supports this through neuroplasticity. Repeated focus literally reshapes the brain's wiring to accept new realities as natural. Again, repeated focus. And what does it take to have focus? Attention. And what is attention? Awareness. What is awareness? Consciousness. All of those words I said they could. We could. Repeated focus literally reshapes the brain's wiring to accept new realities as natural. It is through the repetition of people calling you by your name that you have accepted that this is your name. It's the same thing. It is through the repetition of thinking the way that your identity, who has what you want, thinks, that allowed you to accept it. And because it is accepted as natural, it must unfold. Drop the fake label. The only thing that slows the process is labeling your new state as fake. The state is real the moment you perceive it, because imagination is reality unbound by time. The world of imagination is infinite and eternal, whereas the world of generation or vegetation is finite and temporal. William Blake. When you stop analyzing how real it feels the state stabilizes naturally. Stop analyzing how real it feels in the beginning. And this is for the newbies. When you first step into this work in the beginning, it may not feel real. And I know that, which is why I suggest thoughts that are both general yet specific to kind of eliminate that feeling of fake or force or unrealistic. When the affirmation is both general and specific, it is more comfortable for you to repeat. If it is more comfortable for you to repeat, then you are working the system. The more you repeat it, the more you work the system, the more you work the system, the more things start to flow. The more things start to flow because of the increase of momentum, thanks to your repetition, the more synchronizations come or unfold. And from those synchronizations, you begin to believe in the work that you're doing. So you keep going. You don't stop there, you keep going. Now that you're confident in what you're doing because you're actually seeing some type of movement, some type of validation. And again, this validation should naturally come from yourself within. However, of course, we are human. We're going to see things that validate. I've heard one of my natural affirmations today. It's personal to me. So until I obtain it, I won't be sharing it. But just know from the few days that we've been doing the journal thus far, it is only day 2 of the founding 21. And I have already witnessed through synchronization. I think it was mentioned on a video that I watched. And it was exact, precise. They mentioned it and I just smiled because it just means that what I am doing is working and I need to keep going. Okay, so I don't stop there and get all excited and woo about the sign. I have a video on that as well. We're not excited about signs. We're excited about our attention actually working. And we're going to keep going. It's just like when you're on vacay, you don't hop out because you're excited about the sign that says 40 miles to Miami. Yeah, you're getting closer, but why would you get out and glorify the sign? Get back in your car, get back in your thinking so that you can keep getting there. So that gap between you and Miami can close. That gap between you and the version of you who has your manifestation or your desire, AKA Miami, can close. But if you stop and take pictures with the sign, you're never going to close the gap. Don't get too excited about that part. Get excited about the fact that your attention, your awareness is working and it is playing with you to show you exactly that. All right. So the law, not belief, does the work. Just as you do not believe in electricity for the light to turn on, you simply know how to flip the switch. Consciousness is exactly the same. And I love that example because I've used it before. Just as you do not believe in electricity for the light to turn on, you simply know how to flip the switch. I don't need to know how electricity works. I just know when I flip the damn switch, the light comes on. That's it. You don't need to believe in how consciousness works. You just need to know that when you work it, when you place your attention on the general specifics, on the thinking from the end, over and over again, that is the flip of the switch. That is the work to be done. Consciousness is the same. Once you know the law, belief is irrelevant. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. This is not about believing in something outside of you. It is awareness of your own I am, the operant power. Final realization. You don't have to hope it works. You don't have to beg for belief. Matter of fact, you hoping that it works is just utilizing your attention to fund hope. And we're not trying to fund hope. Fuck hope. We're funding knowing. We're funding completion. We're funding doneness. We're funding the end. with your attention. You don't have to beg for belief. You are the very power that calls things into existence by simply knowing what is true for you. You're not faking it, you're remembering it. Belief is a side effect of operating the law with clarity. And the clarity is within what I've just read to you. The fact that you are working it is all the clarity that you need. You should take satisfaction in the fact that you are thinking from a general specific thought. And as you are thinking it, it's not irritating you. It doesn't make you nervous. It doesn't feel uncomfortable for you to say. That should make you satisfied as well. And all of that in combination with each other should make you so certain and satisfied within yourself. Well, if my attention is here and I don't have any resistance while being here, then I know that my awareness has no choice but to come into play. Okay. So, again, you're not faking it, you're remembering it. Belief is a side effect of operating the law with clarity. When you know how it works, doubt is powerless. All right. So, we don't care about doubt nor belief. I want to go over this because I know that this one right here is going to kind of conflict with what you've heard about the feeling being the secret. And I have a short about the feeling. That feeling, you guys, that Neville Goddard is talking to, I have chalked it up to this. It is conviction. That's the feeling. It's the same conviction that you can have within stillness about your name. If I ask you what your name is, but I said don't answer it within yourself, meaning don't say it in your mind and don't say it out of your mouth. But if I ask you, whether you say it or not, mentally or verbally, do you not still know your name? Are you not still convinced that your name is what it is, despite you saying it or thinking it or not? Sit in that knowing. What is your name? Don't say it. Don't think it. What is your name? Feel that. Interesting how you still know it, but you're not saying it. Interesting how you know it, but you're not thinking it. Interesting how you know it, but you're being completely still. Stillness is knowing. Stillness is certainty. And stillness is the backing behind all action. So if you take the action to work the system with your attention, with your awareness, with your focus, with your deliberate consciousness, that very attention will fuel those thoughts. New neural waves will be wired. Similar thoughts will begin to be received by you. You'll get excited about that as well. Those are going to feel really nice. When you're in your general from the end thinking for so long, eventually you manifest the vibration of other thoughts that match it also, and they come up naturally and they feel good. And you just flow there. And you flow there with all the confidence in the world that if you're there, so is God. And if God is there, then He's on it. It's on it. The energy that flows through your awareness, aka God, is right there with you as you're thinking these thinkings. And all the science and all the backing and all the details and the mechanism of how it actually works is none of your business. All you know and all you need to know how to do is work it. I hope that that alleviates something for you. And again, I wanted a video specifically on this to kind of give you that confidence boost to just go ahead and work it. Stop thinking about everything else and how, or should it be this affirmation, or should I say this, or maybe I need to rewrite it or reform it. None of that matters. Even if you rewrite it and reform it every day, I just told the group that today. You can have 4 of the same affirmations, or you can have 4 different ones. This is what you need to know about yourself. You may be a person who likes to stick to the same damn thing. Or you may be like myself, where the same Same thing drives you nuts after a while. So you need to switch it up. Doesn't matter as long as they all vibrate the same. As long as they all feel the same, and at the end of the day, the result means that you're good. The result means that you're thriving. The result means that you're experiencing what you want. The result means that you actually have, or you're actually experiencing within this thinking, you're actually experiencing the life that you prefer. All right. So I'm going to end it here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope that this made sense. I hope that it opened some clarity for you and it resonated within you as well. There's no such thing as faking it unless you feed faking it with your attention. Faking it cannot thrive to be valid in your life. Okay? Have a great rest of your day. Take care.